Hi, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the future. So first, I want you to identify the objects in the pictures. There may be more than one correct answer. For example, in picture 1, we have food. That's right. In picture number 2, well, we see a classroom, some desks, so this is education. Next, that's right, we have video games. Picture number 4, we have a concerts or live events. Number 5, that's right, a car or transportation. And the last one, money. Very good. Okay, we're going to be talking about our lives in the future. So, I want you to please read this text with me and let's think about this. Do you agree with it or not? And why? One aspect of life that will certainly be different and better in the future is education. It will likely become more personalized, and students might well follow individual programs. Students will probably spend less time in class and more time studying online at their own pace. The traditional classroom will eventually disappear, and college buildings may well become obsolete because people will be able to study at home. As a result, education will undoubtedly be more motivating and effective. Studying will ultimately change and be a more rewarding experience for each individual student. Do you agree with this? Why or why not? Think about this so we can share in class. Now, today we're talking about modal verbs followed by adverbs. This is very common in writing. And these adverbs after will or after a modal are expressing how certain we are about something. For example, inevitably, certainly, and undoubtedly add certainty. We are very sure. Education will certainly be different. Inevitably is often used for negative events, like it will inevitably be difficult for some. Ultimately and eventually mean after some time. I mean, yes, this will happen, but after a period of time. Schools will eventually disappear. Likely and probably mean fairly certain, like students will probably not sit in class. And we can use well after may, might, and could to mean more certain. For example, schools may well become obsolete. Now, please notice here that people use may well in formal writing and speaking. But in a normal conversation, this is not very common. Be careful with these adverbs, guys. Eventually does not mean maybe, it means for sure, but after some time. Ultimately does not mean recently, it is like eventually, after some time. Actually does not mean right now, it means in fact. Currently is the word that means now. Now let's go ahead and practice. Let's go to the paragraph we had before and find the modal verbs followed by adverbs. We have the first one here, will certainly. Pause the video while you find the rest. Okay, let's check. We have will likely, might well, will probably, will eventually, may well, will undoubtedly, and will ultimately. Did you find all of this? Great job! Now, let's go to our workbook page 48, exercise B. Here, we need to complete the article by adding the verbs in parentheses. For example, in the future, medical treatment, even in the poorest countries worldwide, will undoubtedly change to a system that starts before a patient gets sick. Now pause the video and work on the rest. Okay, let's check. In the near future, doctors will likely be able to collect millions of pieces of information about a child shortly after birth. People will inevitably find out at an early stage if they will eventually get sick in later life. However, with the kind of information that technology can give them, people may well be able to take action to prevent illnesses until much later in their lives. These advances will ultimately improve the quality of life and health to many people throughout their lives. Did you have the same? Great job! Now, let's go to student book page 70, exercise C. Here, we need to rewrite the sentences using the adverbs in parentheses. For example, education will be more learner oriented in the future. We need to add certainly. In this case, we should have education will certainly be more learner oriented in the future. Now pause the video and work on the rest, please. Okay, guys, we're going to check this in class. I will see you then. Bye bye.